Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, a senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And it is indeed a brand new day, and it was therapy day, and it is noon, and I'm doing this, which is pretty good for a therapy day. Normally, it takes me till about 4 o'clock until I've decompressed, but thumbs up. I actually did step outside. I was going to go over to the community center to try and find out if we had a community center meeting tomorrow, and if so, what time. You know, it's usually 2 o'clock, usually the first Friday of the month. I was just going to verify that I was correct. And when I stepped out, I met one of the caseworkers on walking outside, going through to tape reminders on everybody's door about the community center meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Perfect timing. And yeah, unless you've got a valid reason to not be there, you know, like work or medical or, you know, some reason it's in your lease to go to these community center meetings, because, you know, that's where they disseminate information or let us know what's happening. You know, and then we get to air any grievances that we may have. So it's sometimes difficult because it's a lot of people in a fairly small area. I mean, it's not small. It's the community center has an area with a lot of tables and chairs, and it's open. You know, it's not tiny, but you get like anything over 10 people in there, and for someone with social anxieties, it's and so it's always a lot of fun to go to. But I do it and I survive, because, you know, it's once a month and it's like 20 minutes. You know, I may hate it, but life is life. Yay. Still though, I am surviving, and that is a good thing. Hopefully you are surviving. And I'm using my tablet again because I wanted to have a different position that my webcam cannot reach to. It has a cord. You know, it's not a, what are they, DSLR camera or anything like that. I can't afford a camera, an actual camera. So I have to have a webcam, and they're on cords. And so if I want to do that, I got to use the tablet, which I like my tablet. It's just, there's trade-offs. You know, fuzzy image, but it's more portable. The other one, not as portable, but better image. And this one I do like the sound of as well, so that's a good thing. I don't know why it is such a struggle for me to get the sound levels correct while recording. When I'm recording a game, it is like next to silent. I have to use Filmora's audio normalizer to bring the sound levels up to normal levels. I don't know why. And then I struggle with trying to get the sound levels correct on just recording with microphone. So my sincere apologies. I'm fighting things I don't understand, and so it's kind of fun trying to figure it out and troubleshoot, as it were. Thumbs up for that. Now, there are some built-in things and non-built-in things on this computer. One of the things that is, I'm a little irate about it, but I mean, life is life. There is no onboard video at all on the motherboard. You cannot plug in any sort of video device to the motherboard because there ain't no video on the motherboard. They put a big old warning on the back of the computer over the plug saying, if you plug in your video here, it ain't gonna work. It needs to go into the video card. Unfortunately, the video card only has one HDMI port, and I have 2 monitors that I could use, but I've only got the one HDMI port. A switcher doesn't work because that just puts the same signal to two different monitors. There are a bunch of different types of display options there, though, like 4 different things. One of them is a display port, which looks like an HDMI port, except one side's flat instead of the triangular thing. Well, not round, triangular, but not an HDMI plug. So I've been thinking of, well, maybe if I get a video display port, I could plug it into that and then plug that into the monitor. So tomorrow on payday, as it were, I'll, if they're not expensive, maybe get a video display port. And then I would put it into the splitter there for because I do have a splitter to use somewhere, and I don't have to buy a replacement for that. But if I have a splitter, then I'd be able to choose whether or not I'm going to have computer display, or if I want to use my PS2, have the PS2 feed into that. So it's hard to say. But I'm going to look into the DisplayPort cord after I record this, but before I edit, if I remember. And it bugs me while I'm recording this to have myself not over here and symmetrically on the curtain. But even though it bothers me to my very core that it's that way, I wanted to have at least some of my plushies and stuff on display. This is a solid hard plastic pumpkin. This is well, that one's actually made out of the hard foam, so it's not soft foam that you can squish. It's plastic-like, but even lighter than plastic. But so it's solid, and then this one is, smack, 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 and it's hard. But they're both nice, but one day I'm going to get other things that I can put on display over there as well. I keep looking for more Squishmallows that are not incredibly expensive, but ever since the last couple I've had here, they haven't had the little hand-sized on sale at my local Walmart. They'll have the big ones, or they'll have medium-sized ones, or they have holiday-themed ones. I just want generic Squishmallows that are, food and bugs and just things. I don't want holiday-themed ones, unless it's just a random one that just happens to be there. Instead of, oh, here's all the Halloween-themed ones. It's like, no, I just want a Squishmallow. So one day I'm going to get more. But, and of course, little Baffy. And the head of my sea snake. Yay. But with everything going on, I have not done a whole lot in life. I did this, though. Even though even though yesterday I did not go for a morning walkies. And in fact, I talked with my therapist about this. Hopefully I'll be able to remember and talk about this. But I went out for an evening walkies. And my heel has been feeling better, not perfect, of course, but better. And I wanted to go out for an extra walk. So instead of just going to Walmart and back, which is what I've only been able to do for some time, I did the shorter but more extensive walk, where it's from where I live to my storage unit, from my storage unit to Walmart, and from Walmart back to here are all roughly equidistant. So instead of here to here to here, I went here to here to here to here. I thought about going further, making it a 4-mile walk, but when I do need to walk tomorrow, I don't want to overdo this. So my heel is feeling pretty good today. I'm going to have to see later on how well it's still doing. but it's feeling pretty good. Which, again, I was talking with my therapist about, where, yeah, I'm the cause of all of my problems, and how the orthotic devices in my shoes now are exact carbon copies of the types of orthotic devices that I did not put in my shoes this time for some weird and stupid reason. And after 40 years of having them in my shoes and wearing them, and then in 1 year of not, I crippled myself. Now, using orthotic devices like the ones I had foolishly stopped wearing, my heel is getting better. Of course, my bone spurs and my heels did not bother me for 40 years. I was wearing orthotic devices specifically designed to make sure I never had bone spur pain. Still, life is life. I cannot remember the other thing that I said I wanted to possibly talk about, that I had talked about with my therapist, but that is one of the things that I did talk about, was how frustrating it is to have ADHD brain. Because when I will be thinking about something and then feel it just vanish out of my brain even as I'm thinking about it, the visual representation, I would say, is like a petri dish filled with a blue dye, and then with a drop of bleach it just goes whoosh outward and becomes clear. That's what it feels like when I am forgetting what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. I desperately want to remember. I'm struggling to hang on to that thought. But there's nothing I can do, as it just goes whoosh and is gone. And it is intensely frustrating. I am quite sure that my 25 plus years of active alcoholism has exacerbated the situation and made it worse. But it is common. I read about it a lot from people who have ADHD, and they talk about the things that happen to them, like forgetting about what they're talking about as they talk about it. So, yay, you're not going crazy if this happens to you too while you're talking about stuff and it just vanishes out of your head. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, I have continued thinking about my creative subjects and such, and the solo RPG, which is still all a part of the cosmic horror and multiverse setting, after all, since I'm trying to tie everything in the world ever to the setting and doing a pretty good job of it so far. But after all, on the razor's edge that I talk about, it is like the multiverse written small, in that it has almost everything that could be possible, plus a whole lot more, just because of its unique situations and locations of where it is. But the razor's edge isn't just one place. Since we live on the outside and there's another universe in our space with us, that is supposed to hold one but has two, metaphorically, as our universes bump against each other and rub and grind, it wears holes in them. And then periodically these holes, it's because my dentures don't fit that I slur around them, my apologies. These holes will connect with a razor's edge between them. You have, if you can access that part of your genome that activates those genes that lets you travel via glamours and doors, if you have that genome available, try to remember where I was on this one. Yes, as they connect, you can travel from out here using those doors, travel through a door to the razor's edge, and then from the razor's edge to the inside, traveling from our universe to this universe, traveling through kind of a mini universe in between. This mini universe in between is formed and is a formal part of the structure of our universes, not formed by any mind, just an emergent property of the situation. But razor's edges are formed between any of these holes, and they form between the inside and anywhere in our universe, because these connections are everywhere in our universe. Our universe is filled with connections through to the other door. Our galaxy is filled with them. Our solar system is filled with them. Our planets, each one of our planets is just packed with these doors. Our planet is packed with the doors, especially where there is intelligence, mind. Each continent has its own set of doors. Each nation has its own set of doors. Within each nation, because I know the United States best on this one, each state has its own set of doors. Each county has its own particular doors. Each city has its own particular set of doors. And they all go through to the razor's edge. And unless you're close to, like Brooklyn, South Carolina, where I write about, has the largest door in the state of South Carolina. But each city has its own individual door as well. Large major doors. They all go to a different razor's edge and a different inside, because the inside is just an infinite ocean of possibility of potential with an infinite number of islands upon them, and they just connect at the center of the island to a door somewhere out here, and they connect to a different one of these infinite number of oceans through each of the major doors. Around Brooklyn, South Carolina, there are a ton of smaller doors, and a huge number of them just connect through to the same razor's edge. So, thumbs up on that. So I'm still thinking on all this stuff, but my solo RPG setting is just a layer within the razor's edge. And the layers are just, they're, like I had said before, it's the razor's edge is like the multiverse written small. And so there is any number of bizarre and strange places that you can go within the razor's edge that are all just different layers, different stacks of reality. And you can travel from this one to this one, and it's all within the razor's edge, but they are completely separate and different types of realities. You can go from a science fiction layer to a low fantasy layer just by thinking of the place that you have in your mental phone book of addresses, and a connection is made. You hook your metaphorical line to the connection and you start to walk or ride a vehicle or creature or vehicle, however that you travel, but you travel. And each step you take, you are moving through micro layers that gets you from here to here. Now you're still traveling distance, but each of the micro layers you travel through is just a little bit different from the one that you had just passed. Like maybe the place that you step into and through is exactly like the one that you came through, except all the cars are red. And those small, tiny, incremental changes happen until you reach your destination, and it is that destination. Instead of here, it's here, and even though you just walked, it's all small, incremental changes to get there. But you're not stepping and stopping through each of these micro layers. While your body does go through them, it might be only for 1/100th of a second as you pass through. So thumbs up on that. And, of course, call for engagement. Hey, if you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be awesome. Of course, making sure to share only if you think that you found people that would enjoy watching an old man yammer on incoherently about usually inane subjects. Very cool. Thumbs up and thank you. If you're a patron, you are beautiful and awesome. Thumbs up and thank you. You help me out to no end. Greatly appreciated. Thumbs up. When you look in the mirror, you are looking at someone who is beautiful and awesome. For everybody that leaves me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome in your own ways. I read every comment that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and heart each comment that YouTube allows me. I answer every comment that my nerve compression will let me, which isn't as many as I would like, but at least it's some, so that's a thumbs up. So I am going to edit, render, upload, go out for walkies, hopefully before the sun goes down, because that was one thing I complained about to my therapist, was I go out walkies now when it gets dark, and then when I go to bed it's dark, and when I wake up I don't leave the apartment, and then when I do go out it's dark, and I don't like that. I want to go out walkies during the morning when it's light, so I'm going to start trying to do that, to get that back in there now that my heel's feeling better. I'm going to be taking care of myself. Hopefully you will take care of yourself. Thumbs up for that. The few things that I think I have to get done, I'm going to try and get done, but I am not going to beat myself up if I can't. And if you cannot get done the things that you would like to get done, please do not beat yourself up either. It does not help you get it done better next time, and you deserve better. So thumbs up. Anyway, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. I forgot to do any kind of secret word, so once again, let's just do something basic and simple, like if you could type salt into the comments to show me and the YouTube algorithm that people watch these videos, that would be very, very cool and greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up on that. So anyway, I hope your day is awesome. That would be a good thing. Definitely a thumbs up on that. I look tired, and I actually feel kind of tired. But while I feel kind of tired and all that, I'm actually been sleeping pretty good. So I feel kind of tired-ish, but I don't feel tired. If that makes sense.